Welcome to the show. My name is Jeremy Poole, and I'm the host of The Moment on Real Estate Social, where we explore and celebrate the necessary transformational process you must go through to achieve a high level of success. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great guest today for you. My friend DJ Thielen flew all the way in from LA just this morning to be on the show. I met this guy, about a month ago?
About a month ago, yeah.
A month ago, we were
in
Malibu, California, at this beautiful setting for a mastermind. And one of the first interactions I had with him is he allowed me to drive his super sweet DB9 Aston Martin drop top to drive down the way to go change out of my suit into something a little bit more comfortable.
And you didn't wreck it.
I didn't wreck it.
Yeah, so we're good. So we're still boys.
so we're still boys, but I didn't go fast, just a little bit. So DJ is CEO of Fortune Foreclosures, LLC, and he's also the founder of Flipping On Demand. DJ, thank you for being on the show, buddy.
Absolutely. Great to be here, man.
100%.
Yeah. This was just a thought, a month ago, right?
Yeah, just a month ago. We were just having a conversation and kind of telling him a little bit more about us and what we do here, and he was gracious enough to fly down.
Absolutely, man.
So DJ, as you know, the show is called The Moment. What would you consider or characterize as being the defining moment or series of moments that have allowed you to develop into the big success that you are today?
Jeremy, I'll tell you, there's a couple. I know we got a limit on here, but really, I think there's two main ones that I experienced in my life that really taught me that there's a deeper meaning of why we're here. The first one was when I was a sophomore in college playing baseball, of course, and I gave my life to God for the first time, and I basically just had this monster season, was junior college player of the year, was a high round pick for the Giants that year.
Wow.
And these things happened where before that, it was always me. Like, I got to do it. It's all me.
Right.
And kind of like you hear people like self-made, right? Like,
sure.
None of us are really, I think, self-made.
No,
we have people
not.
that support us, encourage us.
It takes a whole village, I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
For me. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I realized that there was this, even though I had a lot of talent, I realized that there was this flow. There was this almost like you're not even trying as hard, and things just start
happening for you.
Start happening. They start falling into place. Yeah. So that was the first experience that really gave me an understanding that there's a flow to life. There's something that is out there, but I didn't, I was 19, right?
Right.
Hadn't figured out what it was.
I love that.
And then the pieces kind of came together. In 2010, my mom retired, worked her whole life in Portland, Oregon, and retired at 62, April 1st, 2010, heart attack, dies April 30th.
Wow.
And I remember my brother coming over, and he just looked at me, he says, hey, his head was down, and I said, hey man, what's going on? And he says, hey man, mom died. And I remember standing up and this just wave come over me. So here's a person that is our idol, grew up single mom, really no dad in the picture. And she believes in this system that she's gonna work her whole life and I'm gonna do this and retire, and the 401k is gonna take care of me. And so that really was a day that I'll never forget. And not just because of her passing. So we drive down to Portland, and I'm looking in this, basically we're going through some things, and I found all these old drawings that I did. I found a drawing from the third grade. So check this out. The third grade, and it was what do you want to be when you grow up? And I wrote on this paper that I want to be a professional baseball player. I want to play for the Pittsburgh Pirates, right? And so I looked at this, and it was just blew my mind, man, because the crazy part was, that was in the third grade. I thought of it one time, wrote it down, didn't really think about it again. And so I fast forward many years later, I was able to play professional baseball. I do a lot of business out of the Pittsburgh, PA area. So it wasn't exactly as I wrote, but it was enough similarities to have me go, wow, there's more to this manifesting,
That's
right?
incredible.
Then it was like this eye opener for me, like the genie came out of the bottle. You know, it was like there's something to this,
right.
To our thoughts and our energy and how it all ties together.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, 100%. And I do believe in what you're saying, that there is a flow to life, and I feel like faith has a lot to do with it. Confidence, not only in your own ability, but confidence that you deserve the things that you desire.
Absolutely.
I personally believe that my desires, my ideas aren't mine. I believe that they came to me, and I'm just a conduit. I'm just a vessel to see that thing come to fruition.
Absolutely,
and I feel like the more and more I believe that, the more confidence I have in my ability to get it done. Because I'm not necessarily all that confident per se for me in what I was born with and my own personal talents. It's just that if I have that desire, it's pure, it's coming from a good place. Therefore, the universe, I sort of have this faith, is going to partner with me on that, right?
Yeah.
Like I was praying for a long time. I was like, we got to get DJ on the show. And then here you are.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You manifested it.
Yeah,
but, you know, and I think people ask, like, you know, what is the struggle that people, that most people have?
Yeah.
And I just tell them very simple. It's all of us. It's
Sure.
our inability to control this mechanism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our thoughts, our emotions, our energy.
Yeah.
And really, once you come to understand that is in our control and it's in our power, not that we're all going to be perfect.
Sure.
You know, hey, sometimes someone cuts me off and I'm just like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But overall,
Yeah.
you know,
You're still human.
I've come a long way, man. Yeah, I've come a long way. So for 46, man, I've come a long way.
Yeah, well, I love it. DJ, thank you so much for that. And now it's time for a short break to hear a word from our sponsor. Hey friends, it's Jeremy Poole here, CEO of Real Estate Social and the host of The Moment. I'm here in Arizona with the #1 real estate agent, Jason Mitchell of the Jason Mitchell Group, who's also the founder of the fastest growing CRM business management tool, Shebang. Jason, tell them all about it.
Thanks, Jeremy. You know, we're really excited where we are right now, but we're even more proud to see the success that our agents have had with our system. And the question always is, well, why? What's different about Shebang? Well, Shebang is the complete system. It's all been done for you. And we touch on all 3 key areas throughout the real estate transaction, which is prospecting, transactional, and post-transactional, and we've done all the work for you. So to us, we want to be able to provide simplicity and to be able to give our agents a system that takes all the time off the busy work and so they can actually focus on selling.
Jason, thank you so much. That's fantastic. Shebang is literally changing the way that real estate agents create and execute and grow their businesses in a way I've never seen before. If you're interested in learning more, go to www.shebangcrm.com/themoment and you'll be happy you did.
Hey guys, it's Jeff Van Nostrand. Do you remember the conversations you have with clients where you're about to encourage them to get pre-approved and then their spidey sense goes off and they're like, does that involve a hard credit pull? Yes, you do have to get your credit pulled in order to get qualified for a mortgage. Oh, I can't possibly have my credit pulled. That's going to be a hard pull. The media has got this all twisted. They've got us brainwashed into thinking that this is something that shouldn't happen, it can't happen. Yet our culture will go shopping at the mall, and if you go to Nordstrom, they're like, we'll give you an extra 30% off if you sign up for our credit card today. And we're like, oh yes, 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 I want to save that money. Or it's time to buy a car, and they're like, we need to pull your credit for this car loan. Okay, no problem. But now when we're talking about financing the largest debt of your life, and we're going to put a roof over your head and your family's head, now all of a sudden we can't do that. We've got it all twisted. So I encourage you as a mortgage professional, you need to make yourself a bit more vulnerable. Let us pull back the curtains and properly evaluate your qualifications. I'm Jeff Van Nostrand. I'll see you next time.
So DJ, you do incredibly well in the space of real estate. Investing in property, identifying the right investments, so on and so forth, coaching people. What's the fastest way for someone who wants to change their life and start making money in the space of real estate to do it right now, today?
You know, man, there's 2 main ways that I think, aside from being a realtor or developer or something like that, right?
Sure.
There's 2 main ways that people are making money in real estate out there that they go to the events, they see the speakers, things of that nature.
Right.
The first one is conventional flipping, right? You buy a house using either your money or private money. You buy a house, you fix it up, you list it, you sell it.
Sure.
And that's one way. It's high risk. You got to have the balls, to actually risk and do it, and not be fearful. And some people do, it works out great, and for others, now that you can make a lot of money in that way. But again, it's high risk. Your payout is 4 to 6 months typically down the road.
Sure.
And so that's one of the main ways that people make money in real estate. The other way is what's called wholesaling.
Okay.
So wholesaling is basically like getting a property under contract.
All right.
And instead of me closing on the property, I'll take that and assign or sell basically the contract to you.
Right.
So you can buy this property and you're paying me this assignment fee. You close on the property directly. And so wholesaling has become like this massive, buzzword in the industry.
Sure.
Everyone wants to do it.
It's big business.
Yeah, and the thing about wholesaling, another great way to make money, not the fastest, I'm going to tell you what is. But the thing with wholesaling is it's market predicated, right? Like flips. So it works in certain markets at certain times under certain circumstances, certain weather, right? So it's very market predicated. Now I was in this in 2005. So I went through the rise in 2006, 2007. At the peak, I went through the crash and the downturn and everything. And these methods of conventional flipping and wholesaling got wiped away.
Wow.
So, a lot of builders and things just completely decimated.
Right.
And so at that time, I had created a very unique way to answer your question, Jeremy. I created a way to flip properties, not use my own money, make 20 to 40,000, and have the money up front in my bank account in 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
So I created this kind of life hack, didn't know what I had done at the time, did it kind of out of necessity. And I started doing my deals this way in 2007. And fast forward 11 years later, a few thousand deals that I've done since then. A few thousand deals.
Wow.
And never really shared it with anyone until recently this last year, started opening it up and really, telling people how
your secrets.
My secrets, yeah.
That's incredible. A few thousand deals. That's really, really impressive. Okay. And so you're now releasing it. Is that through some kind of a coaching program? What's going on with that?
I created an academy called Flipping on Demand.
Okay, right.
And so, as you know, and I created this as a way, with the typical programs, it's all information.
Sure.
Right? So obviously, like with this strategy, they have to know how to do it.
Right.
But at the same time, what I saw out there in the arena was, really, really weak support.
Right.
People didn't have access to the actual people that were doing the deals. Talking to, Joe in a cubicle, that maybe did a deal, and he's going off of like a script and going through modules. Yeah. So I knew that for it to be successful and work, I wasn't concerned about having, hundreds and hundreds of people a month come in. We wanted the right people that wanted to change their life, that were ready for the change. They're willing to do whatever they needed to. And we've just had some crazy success stories. Have one guy was in gangs just maybe 4 or 5 years ago, ripped out 5 deals in the first few months. Have another lady, probably my favorite story, there's many, a lady, Deborah, 71, was trying to make money in real estate for 30 years and hadn't done a deal. Did a deal, made 10 grand, but still, it was this breakthrough of
I can do this.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
So in your opinion, this new strategy, the AllStar Academy, is the fastest way. So would you mind giving us just a little bit of a snapshot of what that strategy consists of and where people can go for more information?
Oh, absolutely. So without sharing everything, but a little taste. But basically, there was no name for this. So I started traveling and speaking at real estate events, right? And people would say, dude, how are you doing your deals? And I would tell them and they'd be like, dude, that's crazy. That's genius. I never even thought of doing a deal that way.
Sure.
So I started seeing from these high level like people that were literally teaching people, not even ever thought of doing a deal this way. Like, how do you do it and stuff? And I started, let's call me later, you know? And so I kept it really in the bag. But basically, I call it inverted flipping, right? So rather than buying a house, using your own money, using your money to fix it, and then waiting 4 to 6 months for your profit, I ended up, or wholesaling a property, making 2, 3, 4, 5,000, which is kind of typical.
Right.
I saw this kind of hybrid that was like, okay, you can make the big profits as flipping on the market, but you don't have to use your own money,
right?
And you can have your profits in 2 to 3 days in your bank account. And the largest deal that I did in this strategy was 60,000.
Wow!
And had the profits in a couple days. So it's absolute, like the fastest way to make money in real estate is this strategy, 100%.
Fantastic. And so, where can they go for more information? Is there a website?
Yeah, they can go to www.flippingondemand.com.
Okay.
And check us out, you know, watch a webinar on this, gives them good information, and you know, see the testimonials, the actual testimonials of real members that have had success and that kind of thing. So
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic. So DJ, you were able to build a multi-million-dollar real estate investment company from scratch with no training, mentorship, and very little money, and literally having to figure everything out on your own. How do you think that has helped you creating your signature flipping program that you're currently working with and promoting? Because being in this business, lots of people have all kinds of different backgrounds and strategies and approaches. But I know from firsthand experience, it's very difficult to start a business from scratch, especially if you don't come from money or have a mentor growing up. So talk to me a little bit about that, because I'm in the same shoes. I've never had a mentor or somebody coach me.
Oh man, well, you know, the learning curve is a little longer.
A little bit.
You know, yeah. And so I think that, you know, the good part about it was that I probably did everything wrong, right?
Sure.
I paid contractors wrong, had them run off with money.
Right.
Managed properties wrong. I mean, everything that I did, because I didn't know what to do, had no real estate experience. I was just figuring this out. Now, at the time, I was making great money. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars I was making, but there was all these pieces that was, you know, like...
It's kind of clunky.
Clunky, very clunky, broken.
Sure.
And so, so really from basically just sticking with it when, you know, I mean, believe me, man, there was times it felt like throwing the towel in, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. Just keep working this. I'll figure it out. And so I just kept going, man, and didn't quit. And was able to, over time, over the last 11 years, really master and figure out all the pieces. So like the landmines that when people come into our academy, we partner with them, right? So they get to communicate with me, my business partner, my assistant, like my whole executive team. Directly.
Interesting.
Just shooting us messages through our app and that kind of thing. So that's what really allows them to have success is, hey, you know, hey DJ, how does this work? Hey, no problem. Listen, I've been through it, right? So it's like, just do this. Oh man, I didn't even think about that, you know? So instead of them having to get beat up, say the wrong things, and not have to like know everything, and say, hey, keep it simple, get really good at this, and then go to this. And I think so many people, man, they try to digest, oh my God, I gotta find properties.
They want all the lights to be green.
I gotta fix them. I gotta, how am I gonna do this? And so, you know, we just make it really simple and say, hey, listen, step by step.
It's a process.
It's a process. But as you're learning the process, we're gonna show you how to get cash buyers at will, like as many as you want each day, that are actually buying properties in every city in the country. How to get their phone number, how to get their email, get on the phone, talk to them, call them, text them, direct message them on Facebook, and connect with them, and then build that relationship. Now, these are your ideal clients, right? And so by really harnessing in, basically removing all the landmines for them, they're able to just come in and really, you know, everyone's different, but really have success much, much faster than they would otherwise. And if you're making 20 or 30 or 40,000 on a deal, and instead of wholesaling and making maybe 2,000 or 3,000 or something, you can get to your goal a lot faster.
A lot faster.
Making those kinds of chunks. So
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
So last question. There's literally going to be tens of thousands of people who watch this interview. Many of them are either selling real estate.
Hey, you told me
buying real
millions.
estate. But everyone is thirsty and hungry right now,
Yeah.
not heavy over real estate. What's the biggest piece of advice you can give to somebody who's seriously looking at investing into real estate?
You know what, man? Absolutely, without a doubt, find a mentor.
Find a mentor.
And yeah, not just like, because here's what happens, you know, there's all this information,
Sure.
shiny object, this program, that software,
New trends.
there's all these different things that people get caught up in buying these things.
Right.
It's, oh, well, this software, oh, you need this fine property software and you can't do it without it. And they start believing this.
Right.
And the reality is, like, none of this crap was around
Sure.
when I was doing it. And I still, to this day, I mean, things have evolved.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a dial phone anymore. but with that said, you know, it's just, I think that with people, they get, if they don't know what they don't know. And so they just start chasing things and never really, and really the thing is, it's not the things you're chasing. It's basically slowing down, having someone. I think the number one thing is find not just a mentor, but a mentor that has been and has done and went through and is at where you want to be.
That's
right?
huge. I think that's huge. I mean, not just somebody who's maybe perhaps a level above you, but identify somebody that you probably like and respect, and that's willing to show you the ropes step by step.
Absolutely. And listen, there's a lot of, you know, as we all know, there's a lot of good and bad in everything out
Of course,
there.
right.
And so there's a lot of great stuff. There's also a lot of garbage. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I think people, if they're looking to, you know, everyone wants something different,
Sure.
right? So if they're happy working a job and staying at a job their whole life, I think you should do that.
Right.
But if they're looking to really crack the code
And level up.
on flipping real estate and get free quick, you know, find someone that's done and is at where you want to be,
Good.
that you can spend time with.
Sure.
And you know, it's like Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
If you're playing hoop, I mean, if you could have Michael Jordan teach you some stuff, you know, it might cost a little, but
Yeah.
it's going to be worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Well, right on, brother. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time.
Absolutely,
and thank you
man.
for being on the show, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week.